If you're just joining us, you're listening to the Darrell Davis program on WVOX Worldwide. In-studio guest, Damon K. Jones, good brother out there doing the work. And before the break, we were talking about getting into heaven, more specifically the role of the clergy in our community. I'm proud to say that most of the rallies that community forums that I organized over the years, we can go back as long as you want. I've always tried to do it in the church, because the church has been the backbone of the civil rights movement. Even before the civil rights movement, from the time that we were able to organize the African Methodist Episcopal Church, you know.
That's right.
And so, but at the same time, some preachers need to get with the program.
That's right.
And you know, you're calling them on it, I've called them on it, because at the end of the day, we should be able to go in there and hold our rallies free of charge. I mean, there's some preachers that'll be like, yeah, Brother Davis, you can use it, but you got to pay.
Right.
Come on, now the church belongs to the community.
Yes, sir.
And then they don't, and they're all over the place politically also. You know,
Right.
A lot of these clergy, they're Democrats one day, Republicans another day. The problem with that tells me that you don't have a program.
No.
And what about that, man? I mean, everybody, it's easy to sell wolf tickets and tear people down, but at the end of the day, you got to have a program.
We need to have a program. Real quick. The black church has always been the center of with the civil rights movement. The black church was the center of the civil rights movement. It literally came out of the church. But let's look by race. Why we look at all the other races when they're churches? They have schools. They have economic development coming out of their church. They have things that benefit the community in which that church is. Our black churches, and this is not condemning the preachers, but when you go to the black community, the churches are building, but there's crime in the community. The churches are building, but the family structure is dying. The churches are building, but you're only graduating 50% of black males. But you always see the churches building. When are the churches going to build the community instead of the church? See, we have to start building our communities. We have to start bringing economic development. If the churches can build for millions and billions of dollars, then they could bring some type of economic development for the people that's in the community. Because the black community is struggling, but there's always a new church. So we have to change that paradigm.
I'm glad you said that, because one of the things that my organization's Committee for Justice, one of the things that we push and preach these days is that everybody should have some kind of side hustle, some kind of side job.
That's right.
You know, because we need to get into the mindset of economic development. I'm more, you know, I use every tactic, every weapon available. There's times when we negotiate, which we try to do out of the box. The first thing we try to do is sit down and say, hey, we got these issues. That doesn't always work. But some of our other tools are marching, picketing, writing letters to our elected officials, whatever the case may be. But I'll march, you know, against an establishment that won't hire blacks, but I'd much rather build my own establishment.
Right.
You understand? But we don't think that way enough. And part of the problem, and I've seen this because I've done work over the years. You know, I've been an organizer for Jesse and Sharpton and whoever, Andrew Cuomo, whoever. And one of the things that I noticed is that if we have a forum, you know, like police shootings, always crowded, news media is there. Right. But if we say, hey, let's talk economic development, nobody's coming. You know? And so then I have a problem getting, you know, it's like I call Leader A and say, yo, bro, we need you, Leader A, we need you to come to this rally. Well, what's the rally about? Well, we're talking about internet marketing. Is the press going to be there?
That's right.
Come on now. I don't know. Are you going to be there? And I'm literally going into this.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And so it hampers us to think as a people that all we can do is hold a job.
Right. We have to do more.
We have to do more. We have to develop our own economy. We have to start turning that dollar over. We look at the history like Black Wall Street.
That's right.
Nobody talks about. You know? So, yeah, the church is crucial, but they need to stop just building the church. And I ain't mad at you because your house is fly. You know, but we need more than that as a people. You understand?
I haven't get into it with black law enforcement. I said, here we are making the money that we make, you know, and we all want to move out of the black community. It wasn't like that when blacks were first trying to get into law enforcement. They got the job to protect their community, to stay in their community, and make the community better. Now we get a little paper and we jack, and then we let other people tell us to leave our own community. It's our community. Let's make it better. Let's make it better. Why do you have to leave? Why? Because crime's high? Well, you know what? Maybe if you lived in the community, then people will talk to you and you're able to solve a crime. Because you don't live there, you're looked as an outsider, just like the white cop is looked as an outsider in the black community. But we don't get the same respect, black law enforcement, in the black community as the white cop gets the respect in the white community. When are we going to do that? Because they don't see us stand up. They don't see us stand up for police brutality. They don't see us stand up on police criminality. They don't see us stand up for anything. So the black community is turning away and looking at us as just one of them. We could change the black law enforcement community, can change every black community in Westchester if they wanted to, because they have the power. We know the ills are our people. We are trained to deal with the ills of our people. Only thing we got to do is meet them halfway, and they'll show the love back to us. That's what I get. I walk the streets. I get the love because I'm saying what the people like to hear, and they're not used to law enforcement saying.
But you also look like you bench 350. That might have a little something to do with it.
Well, that might, because of the job that I'm in. But we also, they know that if Westchester blacks and law enforcement is there, we're going to tell it.
That's so true, man. And the point that you make is true for white cops also, because people just want to be treated like people.
That's it.
You understand? Just treated with respect. And see, one of the problems, one of the detriments of our community is the relationship between the African American community and law enforcement.
That's right.
And I've seen it where, if for example, drugs, the war on drugs, who is that really a war on if most of the drug abuse is in the white community with all the arrests of black people?
That's right.
All right, that means that you're hiding in my bushes. That's what that means, And so law enforcement need, and I've seen law enforcement officers. I've met, with people who retired and told me, it's like, D, I don't want to be a part of what they want to do, targeting our community, yada yada, and move south.
Right.
They're taking their orders from the take the streets back politician, getting tough on crime.
That's right.
But they're not talking about getting tough on their kids.
That's right.
And we need to understand
that. Right. T.D. Jake said something real great. I was at a conference and he was the guest speaker. He said that police officers are the only people that arrest people for doing the same thing that's going on in their homes. You understand what I'm saying? Wow. So they're no different.
Wow. Right.
They're no different than what we are. Right. But they have the power to arrest people. But we have to, as a community, like we're big on cops living in the community. If you go to Miami, you go to Chicago, you go to other places that really, really push community policing. Mm-hmm. The police live in the community. Right. Now, I do understand the economic factor that a lot of police departments, the police don't make enough to live in the community that they police, so they have to move up there. But we need to work on the city owns homes, fix them up, sell them cheaper to the law enforcement. And you'll see that the crime down because people, Shanae will act different if she know that Officer Jones is home and that cop car is sitting in the driveway.
All right, hold on, because we're going to be running out of time. So I want to talk about your event that you got a church to have a meeting. I think I got the email.
Oh, at the library.
The library.
At the library. Yeah, I don't even. You have the information?
No, just tell me what the concept is.
The concept is what we would begin to talk about is forming a political action committee to bring like-minded people together to really force the issues on politicians, on housing, economic development, crime in our community, incarceration, training ex-offenders so they could be stakeholders in the community and instead of threats to our community. And we're going to put together an agenda that these politicians are going to have to run on. And if we can't find a politician that we're trustworthy, we'll run our own candidate and take him out. It's no different than what the Tea Party did. It's the same formula, but we're not racist. We're for all people. We're for all people. So people look out. The website is Westchester 4U, number 4, YOU, PAC.org. Westchester for You, PAC.org. So I gladly invite everybody to look at it. It's based on the Poor People's Campaign of Martin Luther King Jr. He was right on time before he was taken away from us, and he was looking to start his own political campaign and start lobbying and pushing for the poor and people of color, and we're going to pick it up.
Brother Jones, thank you so much for being on the Darrell Davis program. I don't mind saying I plan on having you on again and again. And thank you for all the work you do. Thanks for listening to the Darrell Davis program on WVOX Worldwide.